last spot available. Already had 4 teams qualifying, of course, here, Neo. And yeah, we've been waiting for this one. Let's just say that. It has been about a week or so since we had that last game. This one was scheduled to go, I think, last Wednesday, but they couldn't make it in as, of course, Astralis here, facing off against Heroic. Astralis had to travel for PGL. So, yeah, very, very excited to get into this. A lot of anticipation and kind of a banger matchup as well that I don't think people would have expected coming into this close qualifier. The rest of the teams, you'd put Heroic, you'd put definitely Astralis towards the top end, and therefore having already qualified. So it is somewhat of a surprise to see them down here, but exciting nonetheless. I'm
really looking forward to this. I think there's a lot to offer up heading in towards this game. I mean, it's kind of, in a funny way, it's sort of Heroic 1 versus Heroic 3 in terms of the cores. And I'm looking forward to seeing what we get out of this, right? I mean, in particular, of course, I think for Heroic, they've actually been slowly but surely ramping up, right? We get some decent wins in the online scene, and now, of course, trying to convert that into LAN performances as well. Whereas Astralis, as much as it's been funny to hate on them, right? Let's kind of, no shine around it, right? This is a side that have had a lot of hate watchers. They've actually been playing some decent Counter-Strike, right? The wins over Big and MIBR, you can take a lot of solid kind of performances from there. Even some of their losses, that Falcons one, pretty close at times. Pain as well, a kind of a tough side to put away. So I think for Astralis, they're slowly starting to find their form and starting to find what level they can play at. However, we still have to get now an Astralis who qualifies Alice, right? They should have done it. What do we call it? Like the main stage, right? That loss against BC game, which kind of cost them the spot and put them in towards the lower bracket. That was not expected at all. And having to go through all this lower bracket slog is a kind of a tough spot. We do have a veto as well to bring you. So let's crack kind of right in towards that one. If I'm going to get banned out, pretty simply said, that one's sort of expected. Anubis on the other side, permabans out the way. Now we get picks coming through. And there's a few ways. The Mirage makes a lot of sense. 3 wins out of 4 for Heroic. I feel like is a very good map for them to go in. On the flip side, an Ancient's not been too bad for Astralis. They've been liking that. And we're going to get a Nuke, in fact. So I kind of like that. Nuke has still been... It's taken its time for Heroic to get into that.
Yeah, for sure. It does feel like both teams angling towards punish picks rather than, maybe a bit more recency bias and things like that. We also have to look at this in context for Astralis. They've got a playoffs berth coming up just tomorrow. So, maybe there's a little bit of logic in there that they want to try and work on a couple of maps, feel confident in general against Heroic, regardless of where we end up. And that decider of Dust 2 here will, of course, be required. Maybe we'll see. I don't know. I think 3 maps is where I kind of see this one going, to be honest with you. There's a lot of potential that this